Thank you for joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. I have recently been saying around AI that we are not going to be replaced in business by AI. We're going to be replaced by those in business that know how to use AI. You follow me? AI is not coming for your job. The person that knows how to leverage AI is coming for your job. See, most people treat, in my opinion, artificial intelligence, AI, like right now, they treat it like a party trick. But I would say, as of the past probably 4 months, maybe 5 months, I've been treating AI, specifically ChatGPT. I've been treating ChatGPT like a $1 million team member. Today, what I'm going to do is show you how I'm using GPT like it's a $10,000 a month consultant. And of course, I'm not spending a dime to do it. Now, this isn't theoretical. These are 7 things that I'm doing right now and that I'm coaching others to do, and they work. Whether you're leading a team, whether you're building a brand, maybe you're just trying to free up some of your time, I think today's episode is for you. Now, I am not a master of GPT and AI. I am just leveraging it because I see what's in front of me. I see its power. And again, I believe fully that it's not coming to replace us. The people that know how to use it are replacing us. And so I want to be ahead of the curve. So I'm trying it out in all different sorts of ways. I do, full transparency, I do pay for the version of ChatGPT that I use. I talk to ChatGPT on my phone. I get fantastic answers. Can't even compare it to Siri. That's a conversation for another day. But I've really been messing with it and toying with it. And some of you listening are probably far better than me. But for those that are not leveraging it fully, I want to encourage you to maybe listen to these 7 things I have to cover today and try them out. Start to embrace this. Stop being so afraid of it. Let's dive in. First, I want you to think about GPT as kind of the Swiss Army knife, because ChatGPT, it can write, it can organize, it can summarize, it can coach, it can clarify. I mean, it's not a genius. It's what I would say is a great mirror. The quality, though, of what you get depends on the quality of what you're putting in, the quality of your prompts, right? And we're going to talk about these prompts. So I'm going to give you 7 different tactical use cases, ways that I've been leveraging ChatGPT and have had personal experience, and it's really saved me time and money. And frankly, the output is phenomenal when I prompt it the proper way. The first way I'm using it quite a bit, many of you are probably doing the same, is to craft better emails in less time. Now, this is an interesting one because I've always taken great pride in my email ability. Like, there's a few things I think I do half well, and writing emails has always kind of been a strong suit of mine. Whether I go back early in my career and I had to make a compelling case in an email, or today, like I think I'm half decent in my use of the English language. So I had to kind of put my ego aside because GPT could craft better emails than I can in less time. So I use GPT to write emails, or I use it more specifically to tighten up my outbound emails or follow-up or even recruiting emails. So my prompt, when I say prompt, this is what I input into GPT. This is a real prompt that I used within the past couple months. Here's the prompt. I wrote into GPT, write a concise, friendly follow-up email to a recruit who inquired last week but hasn't yet responded. I want to sound helpful and not pushy. Keep it to 100 words or less. That was the prompt, end prompt. That is what I put in the GPT. Write me a concise, friendly follow-up email to a real estate recruit, someone that inquired last week that hasn't responded. I want to sound helpful but not pushy. Keep it to 100 words or less. Now, you can tweak this from recruit to maybe it's real estate lead or sales lead. Maybe it's client. Maybe it's vendor. Bottom line is I will prompt GPT to write me an email. Now, when you copy and paste that email, make sure that you correct the bold items and maybe the font. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to like control that a little bit. In other words, I want it to look like it's coming from me. I don't want to be copying and pasting GPT. By the way, you're sending me emails like that. I know you're using GPT. So I'll either prompt an email that way, or I'll write an email on my own and throw it into GPT and say, edit this, make it a little bit more concise. I'd like it to sound friendly. I want it to be helpful, not pushy. Reduce the word count, to 100 or less, or whatever it may be. So I may be putting something in, but having it edited. So number one, craft better emails in less time. Number two, I love this. Summarize long content instantly. So I feed GPT different podcasts. I feed it YouTube transcripts. I feed it long articles, and I ask it to give me bullet point takeaways. So for example, I'll load an article in the GPT, and I will say, summarize the key takeaways from this article in 5 bullet points. Make it sound like something I could post as a LinkedIn lesson. And it, of course, spits out 5 bullet points that if I wanted to, I could post up on LinkedIn as a lesson. I also might ask it, what are 3 ways I could apply this to my business? And the answers I get are fantastic. So the second thing I do is summarize long content instantly by using GPT. And I just feed it in there and say, summarize this for me. And I give it specifics around what summarizing means to me. Number 3, I know a lot of you are doing this. I think you could generate social content from your existing work. So you could turn a podcast episode, like the No Days Off podcast. You could turn a video. You could turn meeting notes into multiple posts if you desire. So for example, a recent prompt for me was turn this podcast transcript into 2 LinkedIn posts, 2 Instagram captions, and 1 Facebook post. Make them sound like a high performance entrepreneur giving practical advice. And that is exactly the prompt that you can use. Now, obviously, I have this podcast as some existing work, but you have some stuff too. Load into GPT your content and ask it to create multiple posts out of it for social media. You could go so far as to kind of plus that prompt by saying, hey, include 1 post with a hook and storytelling tone. So now you're telling a story around your content and there's a hook, there's a sales pitch of some sort. Number 4, this relates to what we just covered here yesterday. Run thinking time or strategic clarity sessions. I use GPT all of the time to challenge my assumptions and to help me think a little deeper. So, for example, I mentioned Keith Cunningham yesterday. If you haven't listened to yesterday's episode, go back and do so. But the prompt I used was act like Keith Cunningham. I want to do a 30-minute thinking time session. Ask me a powerful business question, and then guide me step by step to uncover what I may be missing. That is a real prompt of mine from about 2 weeks ago. Act like Keith Cunningham. I want to do 30-minute thinking time session. Give me a powerful business question, then guide me step by step to uncover what I may be missing. You could also say something like, here's my current business challenge. Help me ask the right question to solve it. That's actually a prompt I used recently speaking into GPT on my phone, and had a back and forth dialogue with GPT where I gave it my current business challenge and it gave me the right questions to ask in order to solve for it. Number 5, I think you could draft job descriptions or delegate tasks. So I think you could use GPT to clarify expectations when you're hiring or when you're recruiting or even when you're offloading work. So here's a prompt I recently gave for a hire I was actually looking for somebody else. I was trying to help them figure out what the right sort of person would be for them. And while we were talking, I said, hey, let's get into GPT and see what it has to say. So what I prompted in GPT, what I wrote in GPT was write a clear, attractive job description for a high-performing executive assistant. I want you to focus on organization, communication, and calendar management. I want you to add personality not boring, not a boring corporate tone in your message. So add some personality, not a boring corporate tone. So again, the prompt was write a clear, attractive job description for a high performing executive assistant, focus on organization, communication, and calendar management. Add some personality in this job description, not a boring corporate tone. That was the initial prompt. Whatever it spit out, I then asked it to add some more things that this particular individual wanted to see in the job description in terms of the type of person they're looking for. Now, a bonus to this, once you have GPT craft that job description, you can say, now turn this into a quick onboarding checklist. And now you've got an onboarding checklist for somebody who ideally you hired that meets that job description. It's pretty awesome. Number 6, I think you can improve personal habits or even your health plans. You could use GPT as an accountability partner. You could use GPT as a performance coach. About 2 months ago, I prompted GPT with create a simple 4-week pull-up plan for a 12-year-old girl who is athletic but can't yet do one unassisted pull-up. She has a pull-up bar, a stool so she can reach the pull-up bar, and a band, an elastic band that she can put around her foot for assistance. And what did GPT do? It spit out a 4-week pull-up plan for my 12-year-old Katie. And now she is training to do pull-ups. Now, this was a couple months ago, and it was supposed to be a 4-week plan. Truth is, she needed more accountability around that plan, and I probably could use GPT for that. What I would do is ask GPT to check in with me weekly and adjust the plan accordingly. And it will literally check in with me on a weekly basis if I so ask it to. Number 7, very last thing I'm going to give you. I think you can make better decisions with pros, cons, and alternatives. What do I mean? Ask GPT to help you analyze decisions with logic and clarity. So I recently prompted GPT with the following. I wrote, help me decide. Should I sell my building or should I keep it? I'll give you the pros and cons, then I want you to ask me follow-up questions and pressure test my thinking. And then I began to feed it all sorts of information around what I thought were the pros and cons. Very similar to this, I asked GPT to tell me, based on what you know and my history and asking questions around investment, what do you think of this particular real estate investment? And I loaded in various numbers or metrics with that real estate property, from its current valuation, its rental rate, its projected internal rate of return, its vacancy. I gave it all sorts of data and said, what do you think of this? And then it gave me an analysis. So there's 7 amazing, what I believe to be tactical ways to leverage GPT. I know we've gone a little long today. I probably should ask the GPT to shorten my conversation with you today, but I really think that it's incredibly valuable for all of us to better understand this. Pick one of these 7 and use GPT today. I don't think you have to be a tech wizard. I think you just need to ask better questions. So check it out, leverage it. Remember, GPT, AI, it's not going to eliminate you. The person that knows how to use it is who's going to eliminate you. That's all I have for you today, the No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.